didn't think I would ever make this video because this is a personal thing, and it's no proof to anyone, and it never will be. But I want to share with you an experience I had, and I want to discuss, if I have time, enlightenment. Now, I just made this video. Unfortunately, apparently I was a little too filled with energy, and it ended up being 52 minutes. So this is my second attempt. I will be as brief as I possibly can. You're getting the short story, and that's just the way it goes. First off, I want to thank my subscribers for really kind of keeping me going, and all the people who've commented on all my videos, even the haters. You know, it's been a really great, all the different discussions I've had, and the other videos that I've watched. This gives me hope, and so I'm putting this out there because of that, because other people have opened up, and other people have probably done things that they thought they didn't think was the best thing, or they didn't think was appropriate, or whatever, but they were just being open and honest, and I want to believe in a better tomorrow. Anyway, so enlightenment, quick rough definition. So what do I know about myself? What can I prove? I mean, what do I know for certain with no assumptions? Assuming absolutely nothing, what do I know? Like right at this moment, what do I know? And all I can really say is that there is an awareness of things going on in roughly the location of my head. I'm aware of, sensory perceptions. I'm aware of thoughts and memories and feelings and emotions and a whole range of stuff. And I think enlightenment is really just a process by which that awareness is expanded, that consciousness is expanded, and so that I'm aware of more. I'm aware of things differently, or just more, usually. I mean, it's sort of an expanding type thing. It's not, whatever. Back in the day when I was a wee lad, I had some sort of unusual experiences in my life, and I got really curious sort of about the meaning of life and what's this all about. And that was a subliminal message. And so I started sort of a spiritual journey, like many people do. And I read the Bible and much of the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, and the I Ching flew over my head, and the Tao, and 8 Paths of the Flowering Lotus, and like whatever, a bunch of different religious books, whatever I could get my hands on. That just seemed the natural place to look for real big answers to sort of what this whole thing we call life and experience and awareness is all about. And so I'm no expert on these matters, but it seemed to me at the time, and it still does, that if you kind of parse down what all these religious traditions are saying, is that that there are different levels to what we can be aware of, and that we have sort of the sort of superficial level of everyday experience, but that reality, that what is being or whatever, is very deep, and that through practice and through different things you can be aware of more. You can be aware of a deeper relationship between things. You can be aware of things on a more fundamental level. And I don't mean intellectual understanding. I mean aware. Like, I'm aware that I'm making a video right now. I also understand that I'm making a video, but like, this awareness is aware of what's going on right here and now, and the understanding is sort of after it. It's like, oh, look back there, I was just, anyways. Um, so um, these similarities struck me, and I said, that's interesting that they're all sort of looking at the same thing. And then I sort of, looked at some, just more spiritual, non-religious practices, and meditation and yoga and things like that. And I also looked at some of the scientific explanations, and I still look at the scientific explanations. And I think that science is way behind in its whatever. And so, I mean, the fact that, like, what do we know about the Mayans, or what do we know about sort of these ancient civilizations, the old pharaohs or whatever. It's like we knew that religion was big, spirituality or whatever, and they built temples and all this stuff to sort of these eternal things. And and we also knew they grew crops and built houses and stuff. But like, it seemed like their culture was this was important to them. And now it's entirely possible that them and all religious people and all spiritual people are just delusional, and they're imagining things. They're on LSD or whatever. Um, it just seems a little odd when the vast majority of human history has been involved in a certain search for an experience or something. I don't know. This made me wonder. This made me wonder. This made me wonder. And so I sort of looked at it logically, and I said, okay, let's just pretend for a second that all these things are talking about the same thing. Then I should just pick one that seems the best to me, seems suited to me, and I'll just go and do it. And so years ago, my father got into Tai Chi, and he recommended his teacher. I got kind of interested in it. We're real similar, and I started practicing Tai Chi, and I did it for a couple of years, and I kind of, I got kind of good at it, and he recommended some books, and among those books was some Tai Chi martial arts books by a guy by the name of Peter Ralston, and all of a sudden this topic came back up again. And I thought, wow, this is really weird. A kung fu guy is talking about enlightenment and awareness and ontology and methods by going about doing it. And I thought, ooh. And it seemed very practical, very just sort of no nonsense. We don't need all this BS. It's like, this is real. It will make you really good at kung fu, and you can do it. It was like, well, this is okay. And apparently, this Peter guy, back in the 70s, won there's a World Martial Arts Championship that's held in China for, God knows how many centuries. They don't really do the full contact version anymore, because too many people have died and it's real bloody and all that. But anyways, so back in the 70s, he won this thing, the first non-Asian to ever win it. And supposedly, as the story goes, he didn't even get hit once. So I was like, wow, my Tai Chi, whatever. So I connect the dots, I follow the little breadcrumbs, and